All right, so this is the first video I've ever done using my gimbal, all myself being solo. Usually I have Grémy to coach me what to do, how to say it, and all that. So this will be a bit of an experiment. So this video here, as you can see, is not shot from the office. I'm currently at a cabin at the Elkhorn Resort. And it's something that I do every year where I spend a week alone at the resort to just give me a chance to reconnect with myself, life, and to give me time to think. And this is something that I've done now. This is the third year, and I find that there's tremendous value in doing that. And what I'm going to do today is share with you a little bit of what it's like. So as you can see, I'm extremely relaxed when I come here. I don't even bother getting dressed other than pajamas, as you can see. Don't even shave, as you can see. So it's something that I just kind of, because I'm not seeing anybody, just enjoy the solitude to some degree and give me a chance to ponder and put possibly into writing to some degree some of my thoughts. So what do I do while I'm alone at this resort? Well, I do a lot of journaling, a lot of thinking. This is where I write a lot of the progress that I make on the books that I'm writing. But I also do a lot of just vegetating, if you'd like, a certain amount of walking. And one of the things I try to do is avoid watching any TV until about 8 o'clock. And I kind of make myself a note that until it's 8 o'clock, it's not permissible to watch TV. Now, of course, this is just an internal rule, but I find by avoiding to watch TV until a certain time, it forces me to keep busy at things that I might be a little bit more productive on a mental scale. So the kind of things that I'll be possibly journaling on, thinking about, and so on, will be about what I want for the rest of my life. So one of the things that I'll do is just do a lot of thinking. So as some of you know, from 2013 to 2016 were extremely difficult years for me. This is where I went through, I guess, some kind of a mental breakdown, burnout, call it whatever you want. And in helping me to recuperate from that, my therapist had pointed out that everything we do in life will fall into one of three categories. One is it'll either charge our battery, it'll either discharge the battery, or it will leave it neutral. So one of the things that I've come to really recognize is making a list of those things that fill the tank, things that empties the tank, and the things that do nothing. So I find that spending this time alone allows me to kind of reevaluate all of those things that will empty the tank. So I usually start with work. What are all the things that I work that I really don't enjoy doing, that in fact, whenever I do it, it puts me in a less healthy mental state of mind. So those are the things that I really concentrate on, is trying to either stop doing, delegating, and getting those things off my plate that I really don't enjoy doing, and things that really empties the tank. And really look at what are the things that fills the tank. So for me, it's helping clients out, it's helping my team, things like that. So I'm really aware of the things that really fills my tank versus things that empties my tank. But I do the same exercise for home. What are the things at home that fills the tank versus things that empties my tank? And I find that taking time to recognize that allows me to then go back home after my little retreat here and have a different outlook on life and a different way of dealing with everything that we're doing in life. And the other thing that I appreciate about this time alone at the cottage is time to read, because this is where I often get inspired. And by reading and journalizing and all that, and just being quiet sometimes and just shutting off the world, shutting off the TV. And what I like about this place, we don't even have internet, so I can't even connect to the internet. It's kind of nice to just totally disconnect and come in better contact with what's really important to me. And I think it's something that I would recommend that everybody do. Another thing that I strongly recommend everybody tries to do while you're at it and you're making that list of what fills your tank, what empties your tank, and especially as it relates to the things that empties your tank, is to determine what can I change in that. So lately I've come to a realization that there's a few things that really empties my tank. And some of these things are things I have no control over, such as the government stupidity, the media, how it's so negative. But I find even worse than their negativity is their bias on how clearly they're trying to make us believe certain things that may not necessarily be true. And this bias is now really starting to get to me. And what is really getting to me even more, I think, is how the people are eating it up. They're all going out there saying things as if they were true. And then when I ask them where did they hear that, they says, well, on the news. Well, just because it's on the news, it's not necessarily true. And it has come to a point where I've noticed that it really bothers me how naive people in general have become in just believing everything they're hearing on the news. And so I've come to say, okay, well, that bothers me to no end. What's the counter to that? I'm sure as hell not going to change the media. I doubt that I'll be able to influence the whole world to stop listening to the media and all of its negativity and all of its power that it has and the harm that it's doing to each of us. So what can I do about that? So I've come to the conclusion that, well, maybe there's nothing I can do about all that, but there's something I can do with my own mind. And I realized that if I can keep my mind busy doing things that fills my tank, that gives me a sense of fulfillment, that I feel like I'm changing the world, while I'm doing this, my mind is too preoccupied in thinking about those things to worry about all of the things that I cannot change. This is a realization that came up very recently. Whether or not it's going to work long term, well, I'll let you know. But I think those are the kind of things that, again, if you're going to take some time alone, that you can reflect upon. And hopefully you walk away at the end of the week with some things written down. And I suggest you write these things down as to maybe the discoveries you've made about yourself, about life, about your family, your spouse, your job, your business, and make a list of the things you can change and go to work at changing those things. And one of the things that I always think about as well is, who do I want to become? And I still remember many, many, many years ago, I was given an assignment. I was part of a group. And as part of the assignment, we had to write our own eulogy. Boy, talk about a sobering experience to write your own eulogy. And so I found that every now and then it's not a bad exercise to say, well, if I were to die today, what would they say? And what could they say? And would there be enough good material there to fill a few minutes of great things to say about me? So these are all things that maybe not the best thing to ponder upon, but I think you need to take some time to ponder those things that I believe might be important to you. Well, I hope you found this useful. And because I'm always searching, I would really like your thoughts about the time that you take alone, or anything that I've said here about any of you having made discoveries or thoughts about anything that I would have said, even related to the media. How do you guys counter all of this negativity that's coming at you? And let's face it, people who are listening to this video are possibly looking for solutions, and I sure as hell don't have them all. But if any of you have books that you found were instrumental in helping the way you think, or have made some discoveries about how to control your mind and make it healthier, and all of that, I'd really like to hear about that. And of course, if you like this video and found it helpful, please like it and subscribe to us. I'd really like to hear about you. And don't forget to work on your business rather than in your business, and make the best of every minute of every day.